Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Wrestling Challenge review series for uh, June 3rd, 1990. Interesting time of year, and many people have said that 1990 is their favorite year of the WWF. I follow close behind with 1989. If you're new here, there's over 1,100 audios for you to check out. Variety of eras, both current day and the golden era of wrestling, the 80s and 90s. I'd cover 70s and 60s too if there were more full episodes. Anyway, there's over 1,100 for you to check out. Also, if you're looking for a life, business, relationship, or entertainment coach, maybe you're a wrestler that's looking to revamp your character, please feel free to go to my main channel, Golden Opportunities Coaching. I help with all of those things as well. We open with the Intercontinental Champion, Mr. Perfect, who at this point, I think is a two-time champion by this point. Um, and he is in an enhancement match here, managed by Bobby the Brain Heenan. Bobby Heenan's actually one of the last people Bobby manages, other than Ric Flair, is Kurt Hennig. I liked the Hennig and Heenan pairing at the time. Of course, Bobby Heenan is the reason I got into professional wrestling as a fan. And so when he left managing, I was very sad, although I was glad he remained on commentary, so it all worked out. Because that's what inspired me to become a commentator, as a matter of fact. Anyway, um, so uh, Kurt Hennig kind of shoves his opponent into the corner, sends him off. Real basic stuff, hard shots there, and ultimately, there's some stuff in terms of Hennig being a little cocky, a little overconfident. He hits the inverted kind of stomp on the ankle and the inverted neck snap, then hits the perfect plex. He's dominant of the entire match, and he needs to be, as the Intercontinental Champion, second most valuable talent in the company at the time, behind the champion, obviously. Then they do a review of Hulk Hogan getting squashed by the earthquake twice on the Brother Love show. Pat Patterson can be clearly heard through this. Obviously, this happened on Superstars, but Pat Patterson can be heard clearly through this, saying he's hurt. Somebody help him, he's hurt. And I just find that amazing because losing Pat late last year, just really interesting how Pat was woven throughout the company, both on camera as an office person and backstage for years at this time. Anyway, Earthquake says he put Hogan out for good. Jimmy Hart is excited by that prospect, as would any manager be. Tugboat probably does the best promo that I've ever seen Tugboat do. Just about looks like he's in tears at the idea of Hulk Hogan being done, imploring all the Hulkamaniacs to give back the love and care and consideration that he has provided to them, in a meaningful way. Frankie DeFalco is up next with the Warlord. Warlord in full body armor and a half head suit, headgear piece thingy, awkward looking, carrying a spear and managed by Slick. The Powers of Pain have broken up at this point, trying to take both of them in the direction of singles. Didn't really work out as well. Warlord manages to get embroiled pretty quickly with the British Bulldog upon his return late 1990, but here not really doesn't have a feud yet. Manages to go into the summer with you know with the Bulldog as mentioned, but he's kind of directionless here. They're still trying to find something for him to do fully. Lots of punches, clotheslines, punch kick kind of stuff, chokes him out over the top rope, and then hits the power slam, does the Warlord. Warlord also has a pretty good flying shoulder tackle / flying clothesline interchangeably at the time. DeFalco bumps around for him like a champ. DeFalco actually trained a bunch of independent talent out of the Milwaukee, I think it was Milwaukee area. I know it was Midwest. But anyway, he trained a bunch of folks for several years after his run. And then they do a Bushwhacker commercial for the ice cream bars. That's here. Basically, they are kind of crazy about that. Pez Watley and Jimmy Snuka up next. And that goes about the way you'd expect it to go. Snuka in 1990, drawing to a close, gone by 1992, back over to ECW. I think the biggest thing he does, in 1990 to 92 would be the job for the Undertaker's first WrestleMania match at WrestleMania 7. Snuka's still here, lots of chops and back elbows, and then of course the Snuka splash that he's known for. Can't have been good for his knees or the rest of him, but obviously, once you're known for a move, and that's why I tell independent guys all the time that once you're known for something, yeah, you got to keep doing it, and so make sure you want to do whatever you get known for, because it's not fun if you're not enjoying the process. Anyway, up next, Bad News Brown. Bad News Brown leaves after SummerSlam '90, so he's a couple months away from leaving here. Going into the feud with Jake Roberts. Brown always treated like $1,000,000 in the sense of having some things there. Red Tyler, who is his adversary, comes out with a fake snake, rubber snake, and Brown is less than happy with that, as one can imagine, because he's supposedly afraid of snakes, and he manages to have go right after him and beats him up, jumps him from behind because Red Tyler not very smart and turns his back on Bad News Brown. I don't imagine anyone of renowned intelligence would do that. Anyway, Brown sends him to the outside and then brings him back in, hits the Ghetto Blaster 1, 2, 3, and it's over. Then we go to the Hart Foundation, who in 1990 at this point are coming off of, they are, I believe they're the tag team, tag team championship win is at the 90 SummerSlam, so no. They are building back towards the tag team championship. Hart Foundation had been split in the midpoint of 88, split them for 4 to 6 months, didn't work out the way they intended it to, brought them back together around WrestleMania 5, split them again after WrestleMania 5 for a while, although not so much because, again, they're challenging and going after the Brainbusters in a really good match at SummerSlam 89, and then, they're back to being champions by 90. So the Hart Foundation, a major team at the time, Bret Hart, Jim Neidhart, Clash of Styles, always good. I like the Clash of Styles teams, always have. And Bret managing to, encourage people to enjoy the sunglasses, enjoy themselves. Obviously, Neidhart with the power moves, Bret Hart with the more finesse related moves, and that's that. But again, we go into a power type maneuver, big slam by Neidhart. Neidhart managing to keep everything going in the direction he wants. Bret brings the match down into a more technical nature usually, but actually hangs the man upside down in a Tree of Woe type maneuver in this particular instance. And Neidhart comes back in, stomps on him pretty good for that. And ultimately, that goes the way he intends. Then we go to an interview with Rick Rude and Bobby Heenan about the Ultimate Warrior. Rude has not been announced to be the one to challenge the Warrior at SummerSlam quite yet. However, getting into training and the banning of the actual kissing after Rude's matches, known as the Rude Awakening, is talked about here. The build to Rude starting to challenge at SummerSlam 90, which is, I think, to me, it's the Warrior's best match. Honestly, I wonder about, is WrestleMania 5 better, or is the SummerSlam 90 better? And I think SummerSlam 90 because of the cage aspect. But anyway, so the challenge is built there. They're building towards that. Tito Santana, the Brooklyn Brawler. Brawler has already fallen from grace in the sense of not being pushed. Still seen as a match that's competitive because of Brawler's previous run with the Red Rooster at WrestleMania 5, so, a year and some months later. Backdrops and arm bars and the flying forearm by Santana. Santana gets a quick victory here, still a major force in the area at the time, here in 1990. Speaking of major forces, Ted Dibiase comes out, $1 million belt in hand, Virgil still by his side for another 6 months or so. And Dibiase kind of stalking around the $1 million belt. Not really, I mean, summer of 90 to the second half of 90, he has the feud with Dusty Rhodes that is kind of prominent, but at the same time, in comparison to how prominent DiBiase was, this is a down time compared to where he was 87 through 89. Summer 90 just seems like a down time. Anyway, Roma is the opponent, Paul Roma, and he fires up on DiBiase a bit. DiBiase does out wrestle him for quite a bit there. Roma, however, does come over and get a few side headlock takeovers and unexpected maneuvers. Hits a crossbody, nearly gets a pin on DiBiase, which for Roma is a big deal at the time. Roma's still used as an enhancement talent, or maybe 1 to 1.5 steps above enhancement talent would be most accurate. Anyway, DiBiase hits the back elbow, catches him with a couple of shots, and again, DiBiase hits the clothesline, and ultimately, it's there, and it's he hits a suplex and gets the $1 Million Dream 1, 2, 3 in the end, and that will be the end of this review. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. There's tons more to check out. Keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Till next time, everybody.